Rita Morgan was supposed to be simple, a protective cover, a believable girlfriend for Miami's most dangerous secret, a single mother recovering from abuse, innocent enough that nobody would suspect the man beside her spent his nights hunting killers. But somewhere between the carefully planned dates and the rehearsed smiles, something shifted. What started as Dexter's perfect disguise became the most complicated relationship of his life, and ultimately, the most tragic. Dexter didn't choose Rita randomly. He studied her like he studied his victims, identifying exactly what made her perfect for his needs. She was damaged, emotionally scarred from years of abuse at the hands of her ex-husband Paul. That trauma left her avoiding physical intimacy, which solved Dexter's biggest problem. Getting too close to someone meant risking exposure. He needed someone who wouldn't ask too many questions, wouldn't push for emotional depth he couldn't provide. Rita checked every box. He even admitted he picked her because she was as broken as he was, just in different ways. The warning signs were there from the beginning, hidden in plain sight. On their very first date, Dexter half-joked that he was an axe murderer.
Deborah's told me so much about you.
Uh-oh, she admitted the fact that I'm an axe murderer?
Rita laughed. Later, he told her directly that he had a dark side but didn't hurt innocent people. She found it amusing, maybe even charming in a weird way. These weren't slips, they were tests, small confessions wrapped in humor to see if she'd ever look deeper. She never did. Rita saw what she wanted to see, a decent guy who genuinely cared about her and her kids, but Rita's past refused to stay buried. Paul, her abusive ex-husband, was rotting in prison but still controlling her life from behind bars. He refused to sign the divorce papers, keeping her trapped in a legal nightmare. Rita finally stood up to him, offering supervised weekly visits with the kids if he'd just sign. Paul tried his usual intimidation tactics, but Rita didn't back down this time. He signed. That should have been the end of it. It wasn't. One night, Paul showed up drunk at Rita's house. Against her better judgment, she let him in. Within minutes, he was attacking her, wrestling her onto the bed, the abuse starting all over again. Rita managed to grab a baseball bat and knocked him unconscious. Then Paul sued for full custody of the children, and Dexter decided he'd had enough. He tracked Paul down, knocked him out with a frying pan.
Care who I have to hurt?
Harry's first rule was don't get emotionally involved.
And dragged him to his motel room. Dexter injected Paul with heroin and called the police. Paul went back to prison, confused and insisting Dexter had framed him. Rita brushed off his claims as desperate lies from an abuser. Then she found the shoe. Paul had told Rita exactly where Dexter knocked him out, where his shoe would be, and there it was, right outside her house. Rita started asking questions, and Dexter realized his cover was slipping, but he made a calculated decision. He let Rita believe he was a heroin addict.
Look, if there is anything left between us, you will answer me this one question and you will tell me the truth.
Better to be seen as someone struggling with addiction than reveal the truth about what he really was.
Are you an addict?
Yes, I have an addiction.
Rita was horrified but determined to help. She forced him into Narcotics Anonymous, threatening to leave if he didn't get clean. That's where Lila entered the picture, Dexter's NA sponsor, a dangerous combination of damaged and obsessive. Rita watched Dexter spending more time with Lila and jumped to the obvious conclusion. He was having an affair. She wasn't wrong to be suspicious, even if she was wrong about the timing.
So you didn't have sex that night?
No. Not that night.
Rita broke up with Dexter, heartbroken and angry, and in his pain and confusion, Dexter turned to Lila for real. What had been platonic suddenly became physical. When Rita tried to reconcile, she discovered that her fears had become reality. Dexter had actually slept with Lila. The breakup became official, though Rita's kids still desperately wanted Dexter in their lives. Lila's obsession reached a breaking point when she broke into Rita's house, convinced Dexter was there, terrified they'd gotten back together. That violation was the final straw for Dexter. He ended things with Lila completely, telling her to stay away from him and Rita forever.
Stay away from Rita. Stay away from me.
What?
Or you will see the monster.
The next day, he apologized to Rita, calling Lila one of the biggest mistakes of his life.
Lila is one of the biggest mistakes in my life.
Rita admitted she still had feelings for him. His genuine regret, the way he treated her children, and his complete rejection of Lila convinced her to give him another chance. By the end of that season, they were solid again, the relationship stronger than before. Then came the surprise that changed everything. Rita discovered she was pregnant with Dexter's baby.
I've done this before.
What do you mean?
I'm pregnant.
She'd always taken pride in being a single parent, in handling things on her own. She decided to keep the baby regardless of what Dexter chose, leaving his involvement entirely up to him. Dexter struggled with the decision until his sister Deborah literally punched sense into him.
So it doesn't matter how scared you are, how reluctant or unprepared you might feel, the baby comes first.
And a near-death experience made him realize what mattered. He chose to be there for his son. He proposed to Rita, and after some hesitation, she accepted. She lost her job at the Z Hotel after finally standing up to an obnoxious customer, but landed on her feet working for a wealthy real estate agent. Just before the wedding, Dexter discovered Rita had been briefly married at 16, something she'd never mentioned. She lied when he subtly brought it up. After thinking about it, Dexter decided they could both keep their secrets. After baby Harrison was born, they moved into a suburban house, playing at normal life. But the cracks in Dexter's facade were widening. He lied about a car accident and how serious it was. He lied about keeping his old apartment. Rita noticed the pattern and insisted on marriage counseling. They worked through some issues, but new problems emerged. Their neighbor Elliot developed feelings for Rita. On Thanksgiving, he kissed her and pointed out that Dexter was never home.
And I have Dexter.
The guy who's never home?
She told Dexter about it immediately, but his lack of reaction bothered her even more than the kiss.
Well, okay then. Apology accepted.
Shouldn't we talk about this?
Thought we just did.
She only felt reassured when Dexter finally punched Elliot,
Dex.
showing he actually cared. The end came during Dexter's hunt for the Trinity killer. After a car accident led to his arrest, Rita picked him up from the police station. She told him he was integral to their family, that she'd be crushed if he left. Dexter talked about his demons, and Rita promised that any demons could be conquered. She had no idea what she was really saying. Dexter begged Rita to leave early for their honeymoon while he finished hunting Trinity. She agreed. After Dexter finally killed Trinity, he came home to a voicemail. Rita had forgotten her ID and returned to get it.
Hey, sweetie. I'm a dope. I was in such a rush to get Harrison organized, I forgot my ID for the plane.
She'd catch a later flight. Dexter called her phone and heard it ringing from her purse on the table. Then he heard Harrison crying. He found his infant son sitting in a pool of blood and Rita's lifeless body in the bathtub.
Rita.
Trinity's final victim. The innocent woman who became part of a serial killer's life paid the ultimate price. Dexter lifted Harrison from the blood, repeating the exact trauma of his own childhood. The cycle continued, and the perfect cover story ended in the worst way imaginable.